then you're also going to be able to save on gas, but you got to be able to afford it.
Or any menstruating person in this country cannot make decisions over their own body.
Even limit their ability to get gender affirmation treatment in their state.
It is now my distinct honor to introduce the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, John Roberts, to administer the presidential oath to the next President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden.
The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot, I got hairy legs. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
You've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us.
Great again. God bless you. I love you.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Strictly Art Live. I'm your host, Rob Wilson. This is episode number 42, and let's go ahead and get it in. Hopefully, I trust everyone enjoyed that heart-filled intro there. A little bit different from some of the epicness that's occurred the last couple thumbnails I've used for my intros. I'm a comic book artist, digital creator, storyteller, video editor, all that jazz. Just wish I had a lifetime for each one of those talents. But here we are. It is Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. Almost a month and a half left in the year. And let's make the most out of it. Let's see, we got a number of things to cover. I was running a little bit late, just a little bit, because I had to finish episodes 5 and 6 of Dragon Ball. 4 and 5 of Dragon Ball Daima, which is pretty interesting. I'm gonna hop right on to that. I'm also gonna cover Blue Exorcist. That'll be quick and easy. I'll give my reflections on Kengan Ashura, both seasons, parts 1 and 2 of each season. My overall kind of thought about it in comparison to Baki, since it did have a previous crossover. Fun fact is that I watched the crossover first. I saw Baki first because that's literally what came first. That was the egg, right? And I got a chance to see all of that. Kind of tapped out on some of it. I did mention that before in one of my previous streams. But beyond that, I saw the crossover just because I couldn't help myself. The temptation was too high. It was way too high. And I saw that and I said, oh, who's this Oma Takita? And his merry band of different characters that I'd never seen before. So I was intrigued, hopped onto that, and then I've been watching the Kengan Ashura actual series ever since. I just finished it, so I'll talk about that, and then we'll go over to a couple reveals. Moon Knight's been revealed on Marvel Rivals. There's a new Thunderbolt trailer, and also Marvel What If Season 3. I don't think I've really talked much, probably a little bit much about Marvel What If, but I'm going to cover the first 2 seasons, as I just finished Season 2 just in time for the upcoming Season 3. So that'll be interesting. I think, in my opinion, I'll have some ideas. Plus, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the idea of using an item and creating a story behind it. That'll be something I'll talk about while I work on some artwork. And yeah, let's get it. Give me one moment. I got to connect my iPad because one of my cords is failing me. So, got to upgrade, right? Give me just a minute. All right, now let's get started. Dragon Ball Daima, and by the way, ladies and gents, welcome in. I am streaming live from YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Twitch, and IG. That is the name of the game. And let's go ahead and get this party started. Dragon Ball Daima. I'm not sure if that's a proper way to pronounce it, but that's how I see it. So, episode 4 of this series, where we got Baby Goku back in action in this type of maybe retcon thing. Possibly the last masterpiece works of Akira Toriyama, as he has already passed on into greatness, as he already accomplished greatness here. Hopefully he is at the great beyond, sharing his skills for a great life, from a great life. So yeah, last time they had the first initial fight, Goku fighting in his baby form or toddler form or whatnot, and he had to adjust to his skills as he teamed up with Baby Kai, and we got the full-grown adult Kai / Han Solo type of character that knows his way around the demon realm because of the king that pretty much turned him all the babies and toddlers, all the enemies, so he could rule without having to do battle, because he is no Deborah. He is definitely not like the previous king of Demon King. So, after leaving the bar scene from the previous one, this episode 4, they come upon their vehicle, their transport vehicle, how they got there, found that ravaged, probably by the, Toriyama's version of the Tuscans, from Star Wars. That's kind of like his thing. Parodies. He makes his own versions of these characters from other stuff. And they go ahead and try to make it through this somewhat savage land of the demon world. And there's a battle with a giant monster. Han Solo fights, Han Solo Kai, that's what I'm going to call him. Han Solo Kai fights a giant, looks like a Super Mario villain, like a giant fish or something, but he breathes fire. He's got snake tail and flies and all this crazy stuff. Quick work. So basically we get a scene, the next scene that caught my attention. We get a parody straight out of Fist of the North Star. A new gang is in town and they're getting everyone to pay homage to Lord Jaggy. That's at least how I saw it. As soon as I saw it, and they had the statue there and they wanted people to pay a toll, so on and so forth. Or else they'd start roughing people up. It's fun. I mean, it's fun. It was perfect scene for, Goku to get a little more loose with his staff and everything. And yeah, that was a pretty good fight scene. And also introduced another character. And I'm sorry, I hate to say this, please, Dragon Ball fans out there. The new character that they introduced, that character looked a little bit too much like Princess Leia when she was in a disguise from Return of the Jedi and threatening people with a thermal detonator. Just in this case, it seemed like it didn't work. So it was a defective bomb. And this character ended up being a female, and she was actually a princess to a king. So, yeah, he's just getting inspiration from all over the place. But here's the thing. If he's getting inspiration from American film, and he's doing it better than American film, I ain't hating. American film just gotta step up and do better, like literally do what they were doing the first go around that George Lucas made, episodes 4 through 6. So yeah, they meet up. Goku kicks everybody butt. The character, she introduces herself, wondering why he's so strong, and end credits. So on to episode 5. Episode 5 We have a continuation. They travel. I think they eat, I'd kind of skip like the food eating and mingling type of thing. I will say this about Dragon Ball Daima. It definitely gives you that feel like you're watching a Saturday morning cartoon. The the film score or the soundtrack sounds very magical, and it can definitely bring back some nostalgical feelings, if that is such a word. But hey, I made it up. People can make up other stuff, so I just made up nostalgical. There you go. So episode 5, we have another fight where Goku's led to. Well, they introduce other characters too, and we get a glimpse of the king and more of his plots. The new Demon King, and the princess leads Goku and his merry band of Star Wars characters to her father, the king, and they test out Goku's strength. He takes on the king's army, kicks their all their butts. Another great fight. The fighting mechanics, I like them. I like it absolutely. It looks very smooth, fluid, almost like it didn't skip a beat. I admire Toriyama's method of keeping Dragon Ball true to the fighting and not just to outlandish goofiness, which you're going to have a little bit of that there, but the fighting is like undeniable. That's what most Dragon Ball fans come to expect when it comes to Dragon Ball. So you gotta give the people what they want. All right, moving on. We got Blue Exorcist. Hot garbage. That episode was so terrible. There was like literally nothing going on. The chick that survived, her snake handler, literally her snake handler. She made it back to the academy. She got a sword that didn't have any magic. She cut her hair, the short boy girl look, I guess that's in style. They had already a couple of things I was kind of suspect in that series anyway. That I mentioned last episode. So the Illuminati snatched the snake. So they may be using it for research purposes. Their technology has become parallel as emphasis by one of the main characters. And also one of the supporting characters. And the main character, he runs across a girl in school, and she doesn't know anything about love or relationships. So the Blue Exorcist himself kind of nudges her about, if we don't hate each other, we could do stuff like kissing and dating, and it just boggles her mind, And then one of her girlfriends, they have a sleepover and have her read, I guess, like romance or some kind of romantic novels to the point where she's like sweating in bed. Don't know what that's about, but, the emphasis is that, she's intrigued by the idea of romance. Moving on, that's about all I got out of that episode. It did not grab me at all. Hopefully there's going to be a big battle soon. There really hasn't been much since since the first episode? And that was barely a fight. That was more like training. So hopefully, I get it. Snowfall, was it Infinite Snowfall Saga, whatever. All right. Need to go ahead and get it right, please. That's what we asked for. Blue Exorcist. I do recall and remember Blue Exorcist being a little more exciting than this, but in time. I am a patient man. I'm a very, very patient man. And we are moving on to Kengan Ashura. I gotta say this. I like Kengan Ashura a little bit more than Baki the Grappler. With Back of the Grappler, they're pretty much into kind of like OP territory. Well, Baki in particular, to where the only person he has yet to defeat is his father. And yeah, it's just kind of like, you know, when you get that good to the point where like you start shadowboxing yourselves and yourself, and you're putting dents in the wall, fighting imaginary opponents, that's all right. It becomes almost unrelatable to the watcher or the viewer. So that's why I think right now I kind of like Kengan Ashura a little bit more. Oma Takita is a little more vulnerable, but apparently he lost his memory from some of his fighting, or I think summoning using some of his forms. Um, and it's been interesting. Never mind, his rival, the guy that has some kind of that wants to die at his hands. So he's got some kind of obsession with him, but he's psychopathic. He's hallucinating, thinking the teacher of Nico style is, keeping him away from Oma Takita, while he was trained by a different teacher of Nico style, someone a little more dangerous, her who taught a different style, and he was used as a tool in order to weaken Oma's teacher by the rival. So it's like rival students. We got rival schools, but no rival students. Sounds like a good idea. So I think there were maybe a handful of fights. I mean, I love the intros and stuff. They were great. The historic background between the fighters, including the pro wrestlers, which I'm thankful that they emphasize a little bit more on the concept of the pro wrestlers. I guess American pro wrestling in particular. That's what it seemed like. They gave that a little more shine and kind of like the essence of, the crowd pumps them up. They put on the best show. When you think you got them defeated, they're not quite down. They don't know how to back down. They know how to stop. At least this one wrestler in particular. And I thought it was pretty good. Pretty good concept. Let me go ahead and double check and make sure I'm not missing out on any comment, kick, or rumble. Okay. All right. So yeah, y'all know what's up. I know Kengan Ashura is a bit of it's been around for a while, and I'm late to the party. That's okay. I'm just kind of, in retrospect, what I kind of think of that series. I like it. And as it came down to, the last fight or whatnot, we see that not every time the hero's journey is successful. So it definitely set up for, hey, a new adventure can be embarked upon. Mr. What's his name? Motorhead, motorcycles or whatever. That guy, he was pretty dangerous. And according to the crossover, he was like the rival to Yujiro Hama. So it'd be interesting to see where that goes in the future. Yujiro Hama, the king, has yet to have like a power level cap. So he always keeps surprising everyone, which is why he would be the king, But how long will he be the king for? Every king falls like the sun. So yeah, I like Kengan Ashura. Yeah, I like the concept and the backstory behind, the reason why they fight, and also the presidents of these corporations that back the fighters as well. I think that's the emphasis on them is just as important as the fighters themselves. So it introduces a additional aspect to what is already established when it comes to underground fighting. I like it. The only thing I didn't like, it was only a couple fights where basically like the fights ended, and you couldn't really see how the decisive blow was. But they'll go back and kind of like do a review of how it happened in that moment. I think they started using that a little bit too much towards the end, as opposed to just showing that decisive victory. The little kid grappler where he was like, he knocked the guy unconscious. Well, choked him out unconsciously in a move so fast the guy thought he won or something. And that one I was kind of like, okay, I guess, you know. But Oma Takeda pretty much proved that he could defeat that kid. You know, with the training that he had. So, especially being like water. So I highly recommend that series. Definitely watch it. It's on Netflix. It has a different type of animation style. Ironically, I remember they were going to make a Baki the Grappler game with that kind of animation, and they never came out with the game. So yeah, that was that. Let's see here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to emphasize on that. Yeah, but Kengan Ashura, I like it. Maybe I'll come out with more in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break. And feel free to do so. Remember, you are watching Strictly Art Live here on AM Tuesday, November 12th. Go ahead and grab your favorite drink, or if you're at work, take a breather. I'm about to do the same. And when I come back, we can go ahead and start covering some of these reactions to upcoming new cinema games of my choice of interest, and also, new trailers. So I'll be right back. And that's that. Okay, we are back. Let's go ahead and check out this Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu trailer and see what the heck is going on here.
I tear through the cloudless endless night, just like the moon. The moon is out, and so are you.
I like the blast. Blast pretty good back to the battlefield.
There's no escaping conscience wrath.
Got long range move.
You can't hide from your destiny. I bring conscious vengeance. The moon haunts you.
Yeah, that looks like kind of like a BTS type move. I don't quite know about that one. Now here we go. We have what if? Season 3.
Let's begin.
Hold up.
Up for an adventure.
Before we do, Moon Knight, from what I saw, might not be exactly my character of choice. I'm probably gonna go for like Iron Man, Hulk, Adam Warlock. He's a character that requires a lot of skill. It looks like he has a lot of different options. Obviously, I'll go for Captain America and Bucky. Got to get my Rocket Raccoon on. Everybody except for Shark Boy. I'm not using that character. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if I feel like just being silly. That's about the only reason why I would want to use that character. All right, so let's continue.
Adventure?
Always.
Right on the sunset, cowboy.
To understand, you must learn to see.
What exactly are you proposing?
It's showtime.
Here we go.
Howard, are you sure you can fly this?
Are you kidding? I'm a duck. I was born to fly. Strap in.
Oh, move over.
If we all go down, the world will be left defenseless.
This is the shot we have. We may not get another one. Let's finish it.
Oh, we're good to go.
Superman, Batman, Public Enemy, anyone?
Avenger, assemble.
Red Guardian. Okay. Oh, okay. I know what that's supposed to be.
Light him up now.
Big series villain. Red Skull.
This is where your story ends.
Glad they bring it back like this.
With some mysteries, the only answer is what if.
I don't know why.
Maybe it's time that we called in some help?
I am Storm, goddess of thunder.
That looked like some kind of Cthulhu type creature that was bleeding into the universe there. And yeah, I mean, looked pretty good to me. My whole thing is season 2, in retrospect now, started off pretty good. You had Ego sending Peter Quill. Peter Quill started being the emissary to Earth. He was going to destroy it, but he had some time to be mentored by Hank Pym, the Hank Pym, the original Ant-Man. And that turned out very well, where you got a chance to actually fight back against Ego. That was a very good episode. What's her name? The Noir episode, the Blade Runner Noir episode with Nebula. That was interesting, but it's basically like a parody episode. It was good to see Howard the Duck in that. And we had a couple others, the Robin Hood, Steve Rogers and his Merry Men. fighting against the evil king, which was Thor, I believe. Yeah, Thor was the evil king in that, and that was interesting too. The Native American episode was, it kind of reminded me of Avatar, teaching the lesson that although you may find bliss, it's good not to be complacent because someone is always ready to conquer and take what you have. So she ended up being a mainstay, and Big Bad ended up being the guy that kind of saved the day in season 1, which was Doctor Strange, but Strange combined with the Abyss, because I think he had to fight himself, and in season 1, and then that was used to fight Ultron, merge with Vision, and having the Infinity Stones. So apparently Strange had captured all the previous villains from every universe or whatnot. He was going to use them to power his mega machine to reconstruct his world so he can have his Christine. His Christine. Not the car, but, the nurse. So that was that. What was it? Yeah, Peggy Carter with the Captain America suit and a whole bunch of items, because all the villains had gave them all their items in order to fight Doctor Strange and the Abyss because he was too powerful. Along with the Native American girl with her newfound abilities from being in an area full of blue magic. So they overcame that. And then season 3 here, it seems like a new evil awaits, because, really season 1, the last 2 episodes, that's as good as you're going to get. Where What If Ultron won? That was great. Hard to beat that. Doctor Strange is a villain next. We'll probably see that in Doctor Strange 3, where he'll be the, Sorcerer Supreme of the galaxy, as I've been seeing videos of that. And I think they got that skin in Marvel Rivals already. So that's your product placement. But season 3, some off-world Cthulhu type character, I guess. Why does Storm need Mjolnir? Whatever, that actually kind of segues into a little bit what I'm going to talk about towards the end of the episode today. Today's show covering how items, being able to tell a story around items, can be interesting. But yes, let's continue. We got one more to watch, and I'll go ahead and put my commentary with that. Let's see.
Oh, America's so big. You ever drive through Oklahoma? It's so flat.
You got a convoy approaching fast. Step on it.
Red Guardian Transportation.
Okay, a bit faster, please.
Lexi!
Okay, don't worry. Engaging defensive measures.
Oh my god.
Wait, that's not so.
Oh my god.
Red Guardian getting treated.
Is that Bucky?
He's getting his Tom Cruise on.
It's a Winter Soldier. That guy is so cool.
That was kind of
That's what I
elaborate.
talk about!
That's not good.
How crazy is it to think of all the monumental fights that happened exactly here where you're standing?
Modern.
I mean, the place wasn't cheap, but It's got good optics.
Madam Hydra.
Look at you. You are all
Stark
so
Tower.
adorable.
Or I'm sorry,
Eat shit,
Avengers Tower.
Valentina.
Make up your mind.
The assignment is... Oh, wait, hang on. Assignment is complete.
What kind of super serum did you get?
I don't know, regular. Hydra.
Hydra. Oh, fancy.
Who is this old Santa?
The Red Guardian.
What?
Everyone here has done bad things.
So that's the Red Santa, or Old Santa. That's a play on the fact that David Harbour played what was that movie called? Not Violent Night. Was it? Yeah, no, it was Violent Night with where he played like Santa Claus that was like a Viking, and he tried to be nice, but a family got kidnapped, so he brought out the big guns and started fighting. That movie could have been kind of like a Die Hard, but with Santa Claus. That movie could have been way better than what it was, but it is what it is. You know, especially if they're trying to do the message. Boo. The message. Listen up. Boo. Don't like.
Shadow Ops. Contract kills.
And you, former Red Room assassin. God only knows the blood on your hands.
Pretty ludicrous coming from the dime store Captain America.
You might as well call her the task mistress. Because no, man. Ah, look at that face. That right there. That's how I feel. That face right there. Yeah, that's how I feel. I can't zoom in, but yeah.
I'll have you know I was actually the official Captain America, so.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds.
Cool that Kurt Russell's son got the opportunity to play U.S. Agent.
It's getting so tense in here.
And this guy, he's annoying.
Who are you?
I'm Bob.
Well, I'm sure he's got some power.
We're just drifting. And we don't have
he basically turns into Sentry.
You can't escape the past.
So you can either do something about it now, or live with it forever.
So what, we all just punch and shoot?
We are the Thunderbolts!
We're at least trying to sell it.
Can't call ourselves that.
Thank God.
The Thunderbolts. It's a cool name.
Yeah, so
This
that's
is
that.
huge.
That is that when it comes to Thunderbolts. I mean, I think Thunderbolts is going to be better than Captain America Brave New World. That's what I think. Just because you're going to have a little more. Oh, yeah, that's right. They do have footage. You know what? I don't even want to look at it. They got that footage of Secretary Ross turning into freaking Red Hulk with no mustache. I can't bear it. I've seen enough reactions for one day. Hail, Jeremy Piggy said, "Hail, my friend, and happy belated Veterans Day." Thank you, sir. Same to you as well. I had work the day before and the day after Veterans Day. We had to set up some stuff, so hopefully whoever got to enjoy Veterans Day, absolutely glad they did. You know, I was definitely working, trying to put together some stuff for the event, which I thought was cool. Did my daggone tablet just go out again? I'm gonna choke this thing out, man. I'm gonna hurt it. It's gonna tick me off. It's doing stuff that it's not supposed to do. What? The Chuck. Okay. That should be it. All right, so today I put the cup in the thumbnail for a reason, because I feel there are many different ways to tell a story when it comes to comic books, mainly because that's where my focus is. You want to have a story told about a person facing a conflict, possibly in a place, and how they overcome that conflict in said place, or maybe they're whisked away into a unknown land, that kind of thing as well, and their dilemma may be trying to get back. For example, how an item can be very good at an anchor to tell a story. Let's look at Back to the Future. All those movies, Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3, which I think is a perfect trilogy, had one key item that was centered around it, and that was the DeLorean. The car in particular. It was the vehicle of time travel. That was very important. Just a car, a car that was modded out that could, run on, what was it? It was garbage, recycled garbage, your banana peels and stuff like that, like trash, which was ironic. It's almost like save the environment by using trash and garbage for fuel. Absolutely amazing. But they went somewhere, they tested out a theory. Marty McFly, he volunteered. He was intrigued by what Doc was doing, and thought it'd be a great idea. And they tested it out, and then they realized, oh shoot, it works. However, it works too good. Now we gotta undo what was done before everything gets undone. So that vehicle, the car, the DeLorean itself, held a lot of magic. Another example of an item being a strong anchor to tell a story is Knight Rider with a car. Knight Rider was basically the first artificial intelligence car, and Michael Knight, a writer who's on a crusade for justice, to protect the weak. He was assigned that vehicle, and with that vehicle and the tactics that they were able to employ together, they were an unstoppable duo until that 18-wheeler ran over Knight Rider. That shows problems. And then until Kit ran into Optimus Prime. I forgot the name of the rival car. But yeah, that's a basic example. Another common example of how items can tell a story. This is the one, since we just covered some Marvel stuff. The Infinity Stones. Simple crystals that hold a heck of a punch when it comes to power. And because they're much sought after, they're a hot commodity, and you cannot get them off of Amazon. Well, you can get them off of Amazon, but they're not going to work in real life, obviously. But if you take them to the wrong universe, they may not work, as the Loki series has explained. Its properties are relative to the universe it's from. Kind of like the Dragon Balls. Go figure, right? I wonder who came up with that first. So, items, telling the story around items, because even if you look at Dragon Ball Z or just Dragon Ball, it's not called Goku and Friends. It's not called Fighter Z without saying Dragon Ball, because those items are the trope and anchor of telling that story. Everybody got to catch them all, right? They were the original Gotta Catch 'em All before Pokemon, and it's given great benefits, and it's created terrible monsters as well. So that one's pretty simple in regards to items. So from some of the surveys I've taken in the past about character and specific items used to tell a story, the characters that chase these items are very important because you want them relatable. Look at the many artifacts that Indiana Jones has caught in his pursuit to, put things in a museum or whatnot. So that displays how important items can be. Items can tell the history of an entire culture. It can bring about a amazing amount of power. You look at the Book of Eli, it's specifically about a Bible that was in Braille, and the man that held it happened to be blind. Regardless of the technicalities of how big Braille is versus the Bible size, it's up for debate, of course, but it is fiction. It can be used for that, and I think it worked pretty well, especially with all the slashing and cutting and death. People stop caring about how big Braille has to be in order to be read. Let's see. There's one scene I want to show you that's really simple when it comes to a specific item and storytelling. Give me 1 second. Oh, I know what it's called. No, was it? No, I'm getting it mixed up now. No, in True Romance, Christopher Walken was like a mob boss. I'm trying to remember what movie was it where was it Pulp Fiction? Where Christopher Walken, he told like the story of the coin. Let me see. Bear with me. Oh, okay, yeah, it was Pulp Fiction. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show that right quick. And just, let's just grasp in the power of telling a story. In this case, just for a single coin. And we'll go ahead and, elaborate together. Or I guess just me, and if you watch the replay, then you get to take some notes if that works for you. Let's see, here we go.
Oh, that paddlefoot. He funny city dog. He thinks totem pole alive. He Arctic tenderfoot. That totem pole been here forever.
Butch?
One more thing to put on the sled, and we'll start for Captain Roadside.
Butch, stop watching TV a second.
Call Spinner.
Yeah? We've got a special visitor.
Spinner!
Now, do you remember when I told you your daddy died in a POW camp? Well, this here is Captain Coons. He was in the POW camp with Daddy.
Hello, little man. Boy, I sure heard a bunch about you.
Once again, that Christopher Walken walk up, sets the stage. He's got things to talk about. He's sharing it, but at the same time, he's already captivating this young kid's attention. Said he heard a lot about him, from his dad. So Now the kid's hooked in. He even cut off the TV. He turned his body facing the captain. And he's very interested, because it's related to his dad as well. Really interesting observations so far. He already got me hooked. That's just like the power of Christopher Walken there.
See, I was a good friend of your dad's. We were in that Hanoi pit of hell together over 5 years. Hopefully, you'll never have to experience this yourself, but when two men are in a situation like me and your dad were for as long as we were, you take on certain responsibilities of the other. If it had been me who'd not made it, Major Coolidge, you'd be talking right now to my son, Jim. But the way it turned out, I'm talking to you.
So you got two officers, and notice how he kind of looks back and at the lady, and it's almost like he pulls back some of that military language, because in military culture, it's a lot of fouls being spewed verbally all the time. So since he knows this is a kid, and there's a lady in the presence during this time when those things were articulate and meticulous for gentlemen, as they approached, those little things again catch my eye, and the kid's wondering too, but at the same time he doesn't know what to make of it, because he's got the chin on the fist, and he's like, that's not really much of a, I'm intrigued, but he's like, all right, you're taking me away from my cartoons, sir. What's going on? What's the damage? Where's the fire?
Butch, I got something for you. This watch I got here was first purchased by your great-grandfather during the First World War. It was
That was my mistake. I thought it was a coin, but it was a watch.
bought in a little general store in Knoxville, Tennessee. Made by the first company to make wristwatches. Up till then, people just carried pocket watches. It was bought by private doughboy Ryan Coolidge on the day he set sail for Paris. This was your great-grandfather's war watch, and he wore it every day he was in that war. And he'd done his duty, went home to your great-grandmother, took the watch off, put an old coffee can, and in that can it stayed till your granddad, Dane Coolidge, was called upon by his country to go overseas and fight the Germans once again. This time they called it World War II. Great-grandfather gave this watch to your granddad for good luck. Unfortunately, Dane's luck wasn't as good as his old man's. Dane was a Marine, and he was killed, along with all the other Marines at the Battle of Wake Island. Granddad was facing death. He knew it. None of those boys.
Not to interrupt, but it's something about when Christopher Walken tells a story. He starts getting close and then he whispers. But the whispers, he still like changes his voice almost into a growl. Vicious, it's so amazing. The guy's a legendary talent. Just over this watch. There's multiple wars. It's been passed down from generation to generation, grandfather to, son, grandfather to father. And, if you've seen Pulp Fiction before, you know who it gets passed on to as well. But in the process of it being passed down, the things that occurred, it's interesting. Very interesting.
Boys had any illusions about ever leaving that island alive, so 3 days before the Japanese took the island, your granddad asked a gunner on an Air Force transport named Wanaki, man he'd never met before in his life, to deliver to his infant son we'd never seen in the flesh. His gold watch. 3 days later, your granddad was dead, but Wanaki kept his word. After the war was over, he paid a visit to your grandmother, delivering to your infant father his dad's gold watch. This watch. This watch was on your daddy's wrist when he was shot down over Hanoi. It was captured.
You see that long pause that Christopher Walken did? It's almost like he had started to get flashbacks. But that pause also emphasized how important that watch was. And not just that it was a piece of metal, something that told time, but it also was the last remaining memory of family members. And in his case, somebody he served with. Little subtle things like that definitely deserve being noted when it comes to items being used to tell a story. It's an excellent weave, as some people say.
Put in a Vietnamese prison camp. He knew that if the gooks ever saw the watch, it'd be confiscated, taken away. The way your dad looked at it, this watch was your birthright.
And quickly, disclaimer, I get it, some language that's not used anymore today. This is being used as a form of education and storytelling, creativity, art, that kind of thing. So, not meant to tick people off or, get hyper outrageous, just as part of a education process. And it's entertainment as well. Entertainment can be educational. Just look at one of the podcasts I look up to called Valuetainment. It's entertainment that you find value in. You find value in it by the information that's being shared. So that's my disclaimer for that. Enjoy.
You'd be damned if any slope's gonna put the greasy yellow hands on his boy's birthright, so he hid it. In one place he knew he could hide something, his ass. 5 long years he wore this watch, up his ass. Then he died of dysentery. Give me the watch.
Now that's what things go left field because no one expected for that to be the place of concealment for this story, at least. For this story, at least. Um, that area has been known to conceal some things for prisoners, I guess, POWs, spies. If you have to use it, I guess that's the last line of defense, so to speak. But crazy stuff. Quentin Tarantino, he tells some wild stories, and using Christopher Walken, this is the only cameo he shows in the whole movie of Pulp Fiction, and it like demands attention all over a watch.
I hid this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass 2 years. Then, after 7 years, I was sent home to my family, and now, little man, I give the watch to you.
See, like Christopher Walken had a bit of a excitement at the fact that he had possession of the watch. It's almost like a passing of the torch. Such a weird like combination of storytelling and like just like shock and awe. Shock not necessarily in a good way, you know. It's not necessarily the best military war story of how to pass down the item that you want to hear, but that's Quentin Tarantino for you. So yeah. Yeah, I hopefully cleaned it, obviously. But Christopher Walken's a little excited about passing that on. Craziness, madness, crazy madness. Okay, so yeah, that was Bruce Willis. So that was him when he was a kid, the boxer, and then goes back to Marcel and all that. So yeah, I just wanted to share that reference of storytelling because I thought it was, definitely deserves some kind of. No, there are tons of other examples I could use as far as items to tell a story. You take your pick. I mean, goodness gracious. The Eye of Agamotto, the Spear of Destiny, the Cup of Christ. Throughout history and storytelling, man has found significance and importance with items because while man has a finite amount of life, years on Earth, metal objects or inanimate objects made of some kind of substance that's not easily decomposable lives on beyond, those years of a human being. And what it gets a chance to see is only rival to what the trees see. Because the trees live really long. 800 years, 400 years, they seen some stuff. So imagine an item that was created during ancient civilization times of a culture. And that culture moves on, gets wiped out, evolves, whatever, goes through a Stargate, never to be heard from again. But that item is special. That stone, that cup, that piece of storytelling. Another one, I was looking at an image that went by when I was searching for reference material. The Shield of Achilles. The shield told a great story. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Hopefully, I can't tell you how to use those stories, but the best thing I could do is at least give you examples of how simple items can carry history and tell a story. And if you angle it right, it can really be really good to connect the person that bears it with the challenges they may face in the story that you tell about them. So there you go. Ladies and gents, that is pretty much it for today. Thank you for joining me. If not now, well, shout out to General Piggy. He did join and, dropped a shout out. So shout out to him. The good general is doing the good work. So peace and blessings to him. If you watched the replay, very much thank you. And hopefully you got something out of it. So just as a quick review, Twitch, I think I'm at like, 342 followers. I might have lost some because of last live stream's thumbnail. YouTube, I'm at 93. I think my latest follow was Dark Gift. Shout out to him. I got 11 followers now on Kick. So we're moving that forward, This time I got 3 people to pop into my live stream on IG. I lose track of how many followers I got on IG, But I'm thankful to have people that do stop by and at least watch for a moment or two. 37 on Rumble. And I'm content with that. Hey, I don't want to be famous. I just want the money. If I can get the money, I can just keep making comics. That's the goal here. That's why I'm here. That's why I share ideas. At least the ideas that I don't plan on using for my comics. Those ideas are locked up in the vault. But I'm Rob Wilson, ladies and gents. Rob Wilson, Wilson. And this is Strictly Art Live. I hope we had a great show. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'm out. Y'all take care. Peace.
When you have an electric vehicle, then you're also going to be able to save on gas, but you got to be able to afford it.
Or any menstruating person in this country cannot make decisions over their own body.
Even limit their ability to get gender affirmation treatment in their state.
It is now my distinct honor to introduce the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, John Roberts, to administer the presidential oath to the next President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden.
The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot, I got hairy legs, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
You've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us.
again. God bless you. I love you.